Hello everyone, let us see in the MOOC SWAYAM course on Nationalism and Constitutional Growth in India, 1858 to 1920. This is Parvez Alam from the Department of Political Science, Aligarh Muslim University. Today we are going to talk about Swadeshi movement from 1903 to 1908. We in the last lecture talked about that how the moderates especially use the platform of legislative council to popularize the national movement by critiquing the policies passed from the council, and also by critiquing the annual budget, and especially the contribution made by leaders like Gokhale and Firoz Shah Mehta, was immense. And we'll see that how Swadeshi movement unfolded in the beginning years of the freedom struggle. So, Swadeshi movement became a catalyst for change. Just at the turn of the century, just at the start of the beginning of the century, 20th century, Swadeshi movement started. In Swadeshi movement, especially the role of women, students, urban and rural populations is notable. They participated, from all quarters of life, and in fact, you know, various other kind of tools were employed for generating certain kind of support, where literature, music, science, and industry, all sort of fields were in a way involved into kind of participating into the Swadeshi movement. All songs which in a way are kind of they have been sung by many film personalities in Bollywood cinema. Those songs of the patriotism were written during these times, like Swadeshi movement. So so what was the background of Swadeshi movement? Is British Raj decided to partition Bengal, and in a way, that was a very, very big political move to weaken Indian nationalism. And you know uh, this Swadeshi movement, in fact, participated to criticize this political move, and the Swadeshi movement also became an anti-partition movement. And and especially Lord Curzon, who is credited with this strategy to dethrone Calcutta and divide the Bengali speaking population in East Bengal and West Bengal. That in a way greatly impacted the psyche of the people who were associated with national movement, and it is also considered as the policy of divide and rule, because the East Bengal constituted heavily Muslim majority population, and that is also very much related with 1971 liberation of Bangladesh from Pakistan. During the 1947 Pakistan, when became a new state, Pakistan was, you know, having two distinct locations, which is called East Pakistan and West Pakistan. And East Pakistan became Bangladesh in 1971 liberation war, and the very partition of Bengal of 1905 was replicated and repeated in 1947 after 42 years of the Bengal partition, or partition of Bengal, that what it is called. So, widespread protest and immediate reactions to partition, was in fact very part and parcel and content of the Swadeshi movement. Uh, you know, there was, public opinion generated through meetings, pamphlets, and press campaigns. Congress leaders were united, intellectuals were united, even loyal zamidars, in fact, were against the idea of partition. You know, and hence, because the large number of people when participated into the freedom struggle, and especially Swadeshi movement, uh, there was escalation of this movement, and and especially the very moderate propaganda into the legislative council, that in a way failed, and there was the failure of moderate methods, and government's in a way decision to partition led to spontaneous protest meetings in various towns, and the formal proclamation of Swadeshi movement, started. There was the boycott resolution, and especially the call to boycott foreign goods. So, if we move ahead further, we see that what was the impact and spread of Swadeshi movement. There was massive participation on the day of partition, with mourning, fasting, and rallies. Symbolic acts like tying rakhis to symbolize unity. They so basically, partition of Bengal, in a way, if we see, uh, it's it's a kind of more like Hindu, what is a Hindu Muslim divide, Hindu Muslim divide, right? And it is popularly called divide, divide and rule policy, divide and rule policy of the British Raj. So this divide and rule policy of the British Raj, where Hindu Muslim divide, now people were tying rakhis, right? Rakhi into the hands of Rakhi. So Rakhi symbolizes the love and unity, right? So Hindus and Muslims were tying Rakhis so that they will be remembering, and they will not forget their brethren, right? So these were kind of these were kind of part of the Swadeshi movement, uh, and this movement had a rapid expansion. Uh, by 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 expanding the goals and social base, spreading to different parts of India. If we see the Congress and Swadeshi movement, especially that in the Banaras session of Congress in 1905, Gopal Krishna Gokhale supported Swadeshi and boycott movement. uh, you know, there was this evolution of Swadeshi movement from Bengal to a nationwide call, and Dadabhai Nauroji declared that the goal of the Indian National Congress is self-government or Swaraj. Now, if we pay heed on, I mean, when we're talking about Swadeshi, uh, what sort of what is this Swadeshi? It talked about self-reliance, number one, self-reliance. Means that the very uh, production of products will be uh, you know within the India. So Indians will be producing and they will be consuming. Instead, the products are produced somewhere else. Means in England, or So the boycott of the foreign goods, boycott of the foreign goods, right? That foreign goods were boycotted by the uh, you know movement's leaders, and as well as people who participated, and this will ultimately pave the way for self-government or Swaraj, right? This particular act of boycott will pave the this movement will lead towards Swaraj, self-rule. Now, let us also see the extremist influence and split. Uh, you know, Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, and Lala Lajpat Rai, is they are popularly called Lal, Bal, Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, right, and Bipin Chandra Pal, right. So, uh, so this, Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, and Aurobindo Ghosh, they advocated, extending the movement beyond the Swadeshi and boycott. So they wanted, and this is a kind of beginning of that what is called a uh, you know revolutionary terrorism, or basically calling for use of violence, right? So and when they advocated for they use this movement, Swadeshi movement and boycott movement, for kind of the use of violence. You know, the groups who did not support extremists, they definitely uh, excuse, they did not agree with all these methods. So, in 1907, session of the Indian National Congress, which held in Surat, this was very obvious that differences, were on the pace and techniques of the movement, like how Swadeshi and boycott is going to culminate into, and hence there was this split. uh, Dada Bhai Nauroji's declaration and the growing gap between moderates and extremists were very much visible in the 1907 Surat session. uh, If we see, the forms of mobilization in Bengal, uh, you know, there was a kind of innovation in mobilization and techniques where, there was a shift from mendicancy to new form of mobilization by extremists. There was introduction of mass mobilization techniques, boycotts, processions, and volunteer organizations were used uh, for mobilizing masses. And there was initial success of the boycott of foreign goods and its impact on various aspects of daily life. So if you see all these techniques like boycott, boycott, protest, uh, process, procession, right? all all these methods, and also of course volunteer without volunteer how it is going to be possible. So volunteers were equally uh, kind of important, right? So so that I mean so that's in a way again very very important. Let us now move to see that how the Surat session in fact became a kind of in a way uh, milestone, or rather Surat session in a way became one of the moment in the freedom struggle movement where you know the the diversion of the two groups started activities for the same goal, but the methods and techniques were very different. Uh, if we see the very idea of the cultural impact and self-reliance, as I said, that how especially uh, there was kind of various cultural productions which were going on to devise mechanism to mobilize people from volunteer organization to protest to procession to many other things. So, procession, Prabhat, what you call Prabhat Fairy, so uh, this Prabhat Fairy, this was in fact, uh, you know, uh, this became kind of very very important uh, activity. Prabhat Fairy. So what I'm trying to tell you that this cultural production in terms of songs, poems, uh, theater, stories, all these things were utilized in a very moral, uh, energizing sense, where people who are disassociated till now, they must associate themselves with this cause, which is going to benefit them ultimately. So, the very emphasis on Atma Shakti and self-reliance in various fields. As I said, that now Indians, they started actually, started participating in production, whether it is cultural production, or they started in fact engaged into uh, national education. So curriculum framework, national education, uh, you know then they started also talking about indigenous industry, because we have already seen that how Dadabhai Nauroji, through economic critique, in fact highlighted that the industries were destroyed because of the drain of wealth, and instead they demanded for industries in India. So British Raj was not spending much on the India. So self-help groups, social reform, all these in a way were part and parcel of the Swadeshi movement. So it's not something like the Swadeshi movement was only for opposing the foreign goods, because if you're opposing foreign goods and not producing your own, then you won't be able to provide the resources to people. So it is like simultaneously we'll be protesting the foreign goods or onslaught of the foreign money, but we will be engaged into cultural production as well as also our own industries. So if we see the legacy of Swadeshi movement, as Rabindranath Tagore, who was engaged into writing songs, whether it was Gitanjali or various other songs by Rabindranath Tagore, which even now we know that national anthem was written during that time only. So national anthem, as well as also liberation struggle of Bangladesh during that time. This very methods were in fact involved, where Mukti Bahini uh, engaged with the memory and nostalgia of the what culminated during the partition of Bengal. So Swadeshi movement in that sense in fact inspired, but also there was heavy impact on folk music, art, science, and literature. All these areas were equally kind of getting better because of the because of the Swadeshi movement, because everyone was in a way trying to join the movement and trying to associate themselves with the larger cause. So Swadeshi movement, in fact, is seen as a catalyst for India's cultural and political renaissance. Uh, you know, if we again see the other impact of Swadeshi movement, uh, this movement drew large section of society into active participation in modern nationalist ideas. Uh, of course, social base expanded to include zamindari, lower middle class students, and even women. Earlier, zamindars and also lower middle class, and to some extent, the peasantry class, they were not very conscious about the 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 particular movement which was ongoing, uh, precisely because there was a lack of awareness. But Swadeshi movement using vernacular press, as was also the motifs and other cultural icons, and also folk traditions to engage these classes, and ultimately making them emotionally connected with their roots, so that the alien rule or foreign rule must be sidelined, and they should not rather align or collaborate with the expectations and hope that something good might happen. but it is ultimately our land, and we should fight, to free our land. Uh, Hence, the base got expanded, and the very attempt to give a political direction to the economic grievances of the working class in a way generated a large section of society, becoming a part of this movement. The peasants were also mobilized because they had a limited participation but significant one in certain areas, which ultimately marked the beginning of modern mass politics. Uh, Even peasants were confined to specific regions. It laid the foundation for mass mobilization, later on. Also, if we see, the Swadeshi movement in a way uh, created, disjuncture or discomfort for Muslim community, and that also led, communal divide, precisely because during the Swadeshi movement, uh, various cultural markers, where even religious markers were used in this very secular exercise, to motivate people, and and majority religion was at the forefront, which in a way, created certain kind of discontent. The Swadeshi movement, in fact, struggled to garner support from Muslim peasantry, and also British policy, in fact, of divide and rule exploited this communalism to turn Muslims against the movement, which ultimately culminated into uh, communal riots in Bengal during the movement. So, if we see, there was this unintended consequences where, communalists, they misrepresented and distorted the use of traditional customs and festivals for mass mobilization. Traditional forms reflected common cultural traditions, but were seen through a narrow religious sense. Now there was, the repression and internal divisions within the Swadeshi movement. There's a repression by the government, which controlled the public activities and banned, the movements. And this in a way weakened the Swadeshi movement. There was internal squabbles, and also Congress got splitted into moderate section and extremist section in 1907 Surat session, which diminished further the strength, and many of the leaders were facing imprisonment, deportation, and other punitive measures. So, all in all, if we can analyze the achievements and also analyze the effectiveness of the organization, Swadeshi movement lacked a centralized, disciplined organization and party structure. Uh, Despite programmatically diverse techniques, it failed to convert, those techniques into practical political, practice. And this in a way led to a rise of revolutionary terrorism. The extremist group which splitted from the Indian National Congress, they resorted to violence, and because of the decline of this open movement, revolutionary terrorism was the obvious choice for those who were radically oriented toward ousting the British rule. And majority of the people were basically frustrated youth who opted for individual heroism, and they were distinct from mass action. And this, in a way, represents the shift in strategy and tactics within the freedom struggle. Uh, Also, if we see, in terms of Swadeshi movement's achievements, Swadeshi movement was, in that way, not a failure, but made major contributions. The very idea of nationalism reached to the diverse sections of society, and also the colonial ideas institution in a way were under attack, and that eroded the hegemony of the European Enlightenment ideas, and new methods of mass mobilization and actions, like as I was talking about, procession, volunteer organization, folk using folk tradition, festivals were utilized ultimately, which influenced the later national movement. So this movement, in a way, ended with an era where there's a decline of the mass movement by mid 1908, and this ultimately was a significant era in the Indian freedom struggle, which concluded. Swadeshi movement marked a crucial battle in the what is called complex war of position for Indian independence. There's a war of position, in fact, is the theory by Gramsci, which in a way highlights about that, how on one hand, Swadeshi movement incorporated, the very moderate kind of, techniques. On the other hand, you have a extremist group which positioned themselves in a very radical fashion. So, the legacy of the movement heavily influenced subsequent phases of the national struggle. With this, I hope that you are now acquainted with the Swadeshi movement in much more wider, way to understand that how that also, in a way, decline of the Swadeshi movement led to filling the vacuum by the uh, revolutionary activities by the extremists. So, in the next lecture, definitely will be understanding the extremist, phase, as well as also will be talking about many more issues uh, related with whether violence of the extremists was justified or not, and what is those sort of justification. So thank you very much.